Now I just came back now. I just saw that all the cameras you put here, even these ones at the gate, they've all been broken. I don't know who did it. We're just coming back to the house now because we branched to greet Chinon Sudan. See, all the cameras are broken. See them on the floor, broken. Even this one. Even this one is broken.
Today's story is painful. Imagine building a house for yourself and you ask your wife and your sons to stay in that house. But unfortunately, you built the house in a village on your father's land, only for you to now discover that that same father of yours has a plan to take your house away from you. In fact, he is on the edge of pushing your wife and your sons out while you are in Obodo Ibo. This is not rumor. This is a real true life story from a Nigerian man in our diaspora community. And I asked him to explain what really happened. And what he told me shocked me to the bone marrow. Listen to him carefully and then we'll come back to analyze.
The experience I am having now, honestly, I would hate any other person. You see, I'm an Igbo man, right? I'm Igbo from the southeast.
Yes.
And what happened was when I wanted to build a house, see, my father worked as a teacher all his life, and he was never able to build a house in the village, right? So we never owned a house in the village. So when he retired, I was paying for his rent where he was living. So, because you can imagine, most of these people, they don't retire with enough money to be able to pay their own rent, right?
Yeah.
So I was paying for the rent. Then one day I visited Nigeria, and while I was in the car with my dad, the son of the landlord rang my dad and was literally shouting my dad down the phone that he needs his rent, this. And it so happened that rent, I've actually given it to my dad, but again, he diverted the money to something else.
Yeah.
He didn't pay the rent.
Yeah.
So I felt very ashamed of that particular incident, and I vowed that I would build a house. So initially, I wanted to buy a land somewhere else to build a house. But my dad said, oh no, there is this piece of land that is there in the village. Why don't you go and build instead of buying? My brother, I thought that his intentions were very good. I thought this was a father trying to save the son from extra expenditure.
Yeah.
I fell into this and started building this house, and everything was fine. He was well behaved. We were all sweetie until I finished the house. He still didn't know if I was going to ask him to come and live in the house. But he was so good that I thought about it. I said, why would my dad be living in a tenant house when I have a place?
Yeah.
I asked him to move in 2023. My father moved in. And initially, his plans was that, because my wife lives in Nigeria with my son in a rented apartment.
Yeah.
So my dad's plan was that since these people live in a rented place, I think his plan would be to move his family and to Europe. So this house effectively would be me only living in it, and I can do whatever I want. Now, I have a half brother. I didn't know that my dad's plan was that if we eventually move to Europe, all of us relocate to Europe, he'll be the only one living in this house. And he will project this house as his own to the villagers. He would be like, this is my house, I'm back to the village. This is my house, I'm back to the village. And my brother, Europe is very far. If you're not there, you're not there.
You're not there, sure.
And imagine after 5-10 years, every villager would think, he retired. He built a house with his money that he got from retirement. So this is his house. Then what would have happened would have been that one day, my half brother would obviously go and occupy this house, and my dad would say, yeah, I'll give it to him. It's my property and I give it to whomever I want. But when he noticed that my family was not moving to Europe, my dad became a little bit hostile.
I understand.
He became very hostile that, why are these people not leaving this house to me? Why is the wife and the child living here? My brother, hostility all of a sudden in my house.
Wow.
To the extent he started just intentionally annoying me. He was bringing women to the house. So I put a camera. I have a camera in my house, and one day he was coming back in the middle of the night with this woman. So I captured it in my camera, and I sent it to his brothers. I said, look at what your brother is doing, coming back in the early hours of the morning, 4 a.m. This is an 80-year-old man, my brother. This is an 80-year-old man. We're not talking about a 30-year-old man. This is an 80-year-old man. I am 48, my brother. I am 48. 80-year-old man coming back with a woman at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
I mean, this is something, even as a man that lives alone here in Europe, and I'm not with my family here, Ross, I can't even do that. This is what my father is doing at 80. So I sent the video to his brothers. I said, this is what your brother is doing. That got him angry. My father came back and smashed all the cameras in my house.
Okay, now I get it. Yeah.
He smashed all the cameras in my house. There has been threats of bloodshed and death and this. Yesterday, my sister even told me that if I think that house is my own, that I should go and think again. That house belongs to all of them. It was built on their father's land. That the house belongs to all of them. That house is not mine. See, I have considered demolition as an option, just to go and demolish the house and just forget about it and move on. But my aunties told me, don't demolish the house. It's your sweat. If you do it, you are the one who will lose.
Sure.
So the thing is this, bro. I know that as Igbos, there's always this thing of, instead of going to buy land, 10 million, 15 million, why not just, if your father give you a piece of land, build on that one. Please, people should not fall for this. People should not fall for this, because in Igbo culture, if he gives you a land, especially, let's say he gave you the one that is his own, we call it a lobi. He gave you the one that is his own. If you build on that land, he has a right to live in that house until he dies. This is the thing. Now, culturally, I cannot win this battle. Culturally, I cannot win this battle.
You can't.
No, I can't. Because this is the way Igbos behave. I cannot win this battle culturally. And you see, this is a community matter. If I go and engage the police, it's against me.
Sure.
So I am effectively stopped. My father is behaving so badly. My wife is so upset. My son is so upset.
Is your wife and your son still there?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes, because everything he's doing is for us to run away from the house.
Run away from the house, so that he can be the only one that will occupy the house.
Yes, I will not. And you see, this Europe we live in, this place we live in is very far. A lot of us here, we make a lot of mistakes. We make a lot of mistakes because we Nigerians are very emotional in decisions. Our decisions are always emotional decisions. We are not like Oyibo. We don't take constitutional and legal decisions. Every decision we take as black people, we take decisions on emotions. It's all sentiments.
Yeah.
And these things affect us at the end of the day.
Sure.
Have you seen any Oyibo who tells you that their father comes to their house unannounced and starts claiming anything?
It's not possible. You have to make appointment.
It's impossible. These people claim, like, my father feels entitled to my money, even though he did nothing. My mother died when we were 10 years of age. This man already had a woman before my mother took her last breath in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
He was already parading another woman while my mother was struggling to hang on to life in the hospital. But eventually, I decided to forget all these things and let's just move on. But 40 years after, look at what is happening. My father played almost no role in my life. No role, my brother. It was my auntie, my mother's sister, who brought me to where I'm living in now since 2005. My father has driven 2 cars from me. I bought my father 2 cars. And my auntie that even brought me here asked me what I have done for her. Nothing.
I know.
Nothing. And I keep on paying for the extravagant life of a man who did nothing for me. From the moment my mother died, he just took hands off. I'm just like, Tioteto is And that is the man now who is coming out claiming all this nonsense.
So beautiful.
So that's why I want to use this thing to sensitize people, let people be normal. See, forget about this thing. Ah, he's my dad. Now he'll always be on my side. No, that is not a given. That is not a given, especially if there is another woman and there is another set of children in that family. Do not be deceived into thinking that your father is in your corner. If another person has born him a child, these might be children you already know or children you don't already know. Honestly, build your house on a privately acquired land.
Yeah.
Try, please, when you're putting it, make it known. Say privately acquired. The one you went out, you paid for it from a totally different person. Leave ancestral lands alone. If you are not living in Nigeria, leave it alone. It backfires. Unless your father has so much and your brothers have so much that the chances of anybody coming to claim yours doesn't exist. But if you come from where people do not have and you are the only one that have, my brother, they will come and they will bounce on it. The moment you are the only one who puts a structure on that ancestral land, they will pounce on it.
My people, this is a painful lesson for many Africans abroad. Many of us build houses in the village thinking we are helping family. But sometimes our culture, inheritance tradition, and family politics can turn that blessing into a civil war. The question today is, who is the rightful owner of that house? Is it the son that built the house on his father's land, or the father that owns the land that the son built his house on? As a matter of fact, some family members now, the junior ones, that is the other siblings, they are now saying, no, bros, this is a family land. You have to take your house off that land. We need that land. This should be a very big lesson for every Nigerians in the diaspora. It's not a must that you must build house in the village. Please and please, even if you want to build house in the village, get a separate land that is different from your father's land or from the inheritance land. Tomorrow, some people can come ahead and say, no, this is our land. Can you just imagine what happened to our brother now? The wife, the son, they are right there in that house. And our brother is in the diaspora. Every now and then, his house will do boom, 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 because he's so scared what will happen to the family that he left in Nigeria. What do you want our brother to do? Should he relocate his wife and his son back to Obodoyibo and leave the house or forget all about the house? Or do you think he should go ahead and fight for that house? What is your take on this story today? In 10, 20 years' time, the house, the one you build in the village, will become alakpa, will become some kind of kwe house. At the end of the day, you might see, cat, goats, sleeping in that house. Haven't you see? One of our brothers recently also built a house in the village. But the father or the parents, they were doing what? They were storing yam, fresh yam in that house. And the guy used a lot of money to build that house. At the end of the day, yam was growing in the sitting room, in the living room of this guy because he built the house in the village. And his friends, they advised him, don't build a house in the village. But he said, no, I'm an Igbo man. That is our culture. I need to go and build a house in the village. Now the guy is also regretting it now. Anytime he goes to Nigeria, he cannot stay in that house again. He goes to the nearby city and he rents a hotel there and he stays. So, and I hope we're going to learn from our brother's story. Our brother, we thank you, we appreciate you, at least for sharing your experience with us. It's not an easy thing anyway, but we're sure you'll be healed. Thanks a lot for joining us today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.